Hello and welcome to the latest edition of our Top Tips for SME series with me, Philip King, and Blue Chain. I'm delighted to be joined by Robert Brooker, who is Head of Fraud and Forensics at PKF GM. Robert, please can you introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and then talk us through your 3 top tips.
Thank you, Philip, very much, and thank you to Blue Chain for having me. It's an absolute privilege to be here. So, who am I? Robert Brooker, Head of Fraud and Forensics at PKF GM, a top 10 accountancy practice. I've been here 6 years and previously was Head of Fraud at Transport for London for a number of years. And what do we do as a consultancy of fraud and forensics? We're a team of forensic accountants and forensic investigators working closely with contentious insolvency team, whereby companies that have become insolvent, unfortunately on many occasions is due to fraud. We will look at the fraud element of it and take that from the fraud element and from the investigation right the way through to prosecution, disciplinary, and the recovery of the loss. We additionally work for private and public sector, whether it be as a forensic accountant piece or as an investigations team, looking to identify fraud, bribery, corruption, etc. My 3 top tips. Number 1, identify your fraud risks and mitigate and manage them. The reason being is that these are really quite generic. Many people will ask you to look at tools that might cost you money, but actually what can you do yourselves that doesn't necessarily cost you money is identify your risks. If you know where your risks are, you've got a chance of mitigating against them and then manage that on an ongoing process. Tip number 2, awareness and education. And this is around you, not just you as the MD or as the CEO, but you as an organization. What is fraud? Do your staff, do your customers, do your suppliers know exactly what fraud is? Do they know how to mitigate against it? Do they know how to report it if they find it? It's about educating people to understand what that looks like. And tip number 3 is onboarding and undertaking due diligence when you onboard customers, suppliers, or staff. Because all of this contributes to creating a counter-fraud culture with the tone coming from the top, not just from the chief exec, but also from the NED, the non-exec directors, and your executive board, which encourages the correct behaviours and consequences for those that sadly don't abide by them.
Thank you, Robert. Some great practical advice there, and I'm looking forward to digging deeper into that with you shortly. So don't forget to head over to bluechain.com for the deeper digging into Robert's tips. For now, thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you.